Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I have another walkthrough here for you, and we are going to be doing a walkthrough of the New Orleans. How would you really pronounce that? Well, whatever. Voodoo Tarot. This is a mix for me. There's things that I love about it, and there's things that that I'm just not vibing with, mostly because of because it is voodoo based, and that's a path that I don't follow. And so it's kind of like kind of not for me then. I thought, ooh, the art looks cool. Maybe I can slightly ignore the spiritual aspects of it, the religious, connections to it, you know what I mean? But in the end, I just felt like it wasn't a deck for me. But I said, you know what? I rarely see anything about this deck. Let's do a walkthrough of it and let's talk about it. And then I can just put it on my stack of decks to send off to someone that will love and use this deck as it should be. So first of all, before we get into the deck, let's look at the book. This book is probably like the best thing out there. Like, there's so much in here though. And I kind of wanted to go through it, but it's, I don't know. I feel like it's not for me. Kind of like okay, so Annika, nobody here, if she's watching this, she'll kind of get this. I'm kind of getting the same feeling with this deck as she did with the court cards from the Hardy Tarot. Like, I walked into a room I was not invited into, or a party that I wasn't invited into, And I can totally get that, and it's most likely because of the religious connotations to it, to the voodoo spirituality aspect of it. But the book is amazing. It's really thick. It's like 200, and with the index, it's 276 pages. And there's this thing here. Ooh, don't want to rip that out. And I kind of thought, maybe I'll keep the book. But no, I do not want to be that person that separates the book and the deck. I'm going to keep them together. I think it's only right. But let's do a walkthrough of this. And let's see, hopefully everything is good here. I'm gonna bring this in real quick, hold on. All right, that should be better. So yeah, here we have the World Egg as the Fool. And there's a lot of name changes, there's a lot of changes here, but it is Golden Dawn based, which kind of interests me. So here we have Dr. John as the Magician. Mary Laveau as the High Priestess. The Empress is Ayizan? Is that correct? I'm going to be incorporating my Spanish accent to read these. Loco for the Emperor. Interesting. I'm pretty sure Loco doesn't... Hold on. Does it? Because there is like a mention, like some of the core cards are Santeria, Which, I know there's like a connection to that, to voodoo. Let me see. Loco is the racing, or root. Loa who walks with Ayizan. He is a guardian of the hound for. Look at, there's so many words that I do not know. And for a variety of the objects it houses. As Ayizan can be described as love, especially in the spiritual sense, Loco can be described as will, in the sense of the driving force of magical acts. If Ayizan is identified as the womb, then Loco is the phallus. Okay, okay. The aspect of Loco depicted in this card shows him looking down through the parted canopy of the forest onto a pole. In the context of the Houndfor, I don't know what is that? Or voodoo temple, this pole is a central feature and a means through which the Loa may enter. Oh, okay, yeah, now I'm remembering a few things. A butterfly moving about the card signifies Loco as a guardian of vegetation, and one who possesses a profound knowledge of herbs and roots used in curing disease. His attributes include healing and protection. He is the protector of the center pole and of the whip used in the more militant petro-voodoo rites. He is a guardian of forests and trees. Compared to Ayizan, the works he performs are more physical, more dense. Loco is said to have called the first dead from the waters. So he is privy to the mysteries of death. Contemplation, nature of will. where the will finds its origin and upon what ground it gathers power, divination, protection, ambition, victory, strife, conquest, and war. Interesting. Very different. And it does have the sigils, the voodoo sigils here as well. Master of the Head. The Hierophant. Now I remember like while I was skimming through here that the head is like a very like strongly connected to the spiritual, which kind of makes sense because from Spirit with Keter, which is the crown, which is above the head, you know, so close to it, you know, kind of, you know, there's a lot of Tree of Life and voodoo connections too here, which kind of makes sense because Tree of Life is kind of like an archetype thing, you know, you can fit almost anything onto the Tree of Life. Almost anything? I'm pretty sure you can fit everything onto the Tree of Life, which I think is the point. Marasa for the lovers. You can see the lovers there, yeah. 7, Chariot Dance. 8 is Possession. Very creepy. Very, very creepy, but I'm pretty sure this is Strength. Let me make sure it's not, you know, you can never be sure with these. Let's see. 12. 7. Okay. 8. Okay, so here they're doing the 8 or 11. Make up your mind, okay? You have the number 8 on there, but it says, or 11. No, like strength, lust. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Dance sets the stage for the drama of possession. Here, the question of who dances is answered with the style and detail. Lust manifested as divine drunkenness, and ecstasy moves the dancer inward to the brink of individual being. The cup runs over, and self is obliterated in the torrent of self. Strength and ability to exert effort toward a given end is present in the dancer to such a degree that the sacred is drawn within him or her. Action then flow from the sacred's inexhaustible reservoir of grace. Many fear possession. This is a rational fear, for we are all at risk. Well, yeah. Wait, what? This is a rational fear, for we are all at risk. Okay, yeah. What most of us struggle with is possession of by personality. To the extent that we identify with our personalities, we are possessed by that personality's limiting definitions of self. Personality is such an acceptable and pervasive expression of self in society that it is frequently examined. It is often mistaken for self. The boundless wealth of self becomes to be encased in the roles, more, and expectations of personality. Wait, what? In the roles, mores, and expectations of personality. There we go. Possession by such a small god strangles the vast array of possibilities inherent in self. Okay, so this kind of reminds me of while I was in church, in my church days when I was a young one. It kind of like tongues. I would feel like it was kind of like that when people would just start speaking in tongues and be overcome with the Holy Spirit, and they would essentially kind of like pass out and fall to the ground. Yeah. But obviously kind of similar, but very different in like the sources of what is taking over the body, you know. So yeah, we're in the Christian church that I went to, they would become overcome with the Holy Spirit. Here it would be one of the deities that they would be trying to contact, I'm sure. You know, I didn't finish what that strength card said, but again, really well written. But I'm a little weird at reading, you know, out loud at least. Let's see. Here we have. Wait, did I just pass a card? 8? No, 9. Couch? No. Coucher, I believe is what it is. Which would be the Hermit. Rest, sleep, yeah. Going within. 10, the Market, the Wheel of Fortune here. You see the Sphinx, you see that Anubis figure. You see the figures of the Wheel of Fortune here, but it's kind of all in disarray. It's kind of like different fates intercrossing and interacting. Anyways, moving on though. Secret societies for 11. Justice, right? Yeah, it's so creepy, those things coming out of the woods. Let's see, Zombie, 12, the Hanged Man. How interesting. You do see that there's this sense of surrender here. Is her mouth sewn shut? It looks like it. Let's see, 13, Le Mort. I believe that's how you pronounce that. Reminds me kind of the multiple bodies, the multiple people kind of remind me of like Terror of Prague or what's another one like this? I think the Japaritsa, where they all kind of form together, you know. I don't know. Moving on. Tibonange. I'm sure I just butchered that for temperance. Again, there's that spirit coming down into the physical. 15, the devil. Courir le Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras? Courier the... Here we have the tower. A little modern, a little more modern than what I'm used to. Or, well, what's being displayed throughout other cards here. Deluge. I'm pretty sure. Again, I'm probably butchering all these cards. Ooh, okay, so here's the star. I wish they had like a way... do they have pronunciation of this? Let's see, temperance. 17. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, it doesn't say. Yeah. Moving on. Magic mirror for the moon. Makes sense. The moon is essentially a mirror. Grosbonange. Is that did I pronounce that right? Someone that's like that loves follows the voodoo tradition is probably like, oh my god, this guy does not know what he's talking about. I'm like, yeah, I don't, because this isn't my path. Ancestors for judgment. Interesting. And 21, carnival. And then we have the wild card, which is Liberons. Again, butchering that. And then the suits are separated into different things. Here, hold on. Let's see. Here we have, so fire and wands are Petro. And then we have Congo for water and cups. Then we have Rada for air. Let me see if I can find out. There we go. And then last one, which is the only word that I was kind of like familiar with. Well, Congo, I'm sure. I'm not sure. And then we have Santeria for earth. It's rather strange. Let me see. Does it explain the different suits? The fours? No. It does go by numeral, by Sephiroth. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it doesn't say. Does it explain it? It's not really explaining it. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up real quick to see the different suits. Alright, so I finally found it. I was looking all over for it, and it's in the beginning where I should have been looking. But I did look through it. There's a glossary, there's an index. This guidebook has a lot. And the bibliography also put on a few more books on my wish list of books that I need for my project. Anyways, so here I'm going to read like pretty much the explanation as to why they changed them from wands to Petro, water to Congo, air to Rada, and earth to Santeria. So the first of these nations is Petro, I should be pronouncing it like that, a form of worship common in Haiti, which corresponds to fire. Le Flambeau rites are also associated with the element of fire. These rites tend towards the revolutionary in that their fiery content challenges the established order of things. For example, the Petro ritual of Bois Caiman, I believe that's how you Bois, B-O-I-S. Caiman, performed on August 14th, 1791, began the Haitian War for Independence. In this rite, those present took an oath to follow the Ongan priest, Bokman, in a fight for independence. The war ended in 1804, and Haiti emerged as the second independent country in the Western Hemisphere. The name La Flambeau is taken from the torch carriers who light the way for nighttime carnival parades. Carnival literally means farewell to flesh. Oh, how interesting. And it is within the heat of Carnival that the flesh, or the established order of things, is upset and transcended. So wouldn't Carnival fit better with judgment? No. They're the experts. Rather than the world. Well, I guess it works. Either way. Next up, the rites of the Congo nation, the second presented here, according to Milo Regard, 1969, on page 72. Oh, wait. Okay, I'll have to look at that. Are attributed to the element of water. These rites and the loa they summon are in general for a more jarring character than the rada, or air rites, yet not so jarring as the petro rites. This follows the elemental attributions in that air is the least harsh element, then comes water, and then fire. Santeria, the earthy nation of this deck, is a system in itself, independent of voodoo, and will be treated as such. Oh, okay. Freshwater is the precious element of voodoo. Water is commonly used to assist the loa in entering ritual space. They are said to walk the water road. Streams that well up from the earth are sacred places where the voices of the loa or spirits can be heard. In this tarot, the Congo nation is attributed to water in order to pay homage to a sacred site in New Orleans, Congo Square. It is a place of grace, where Dr. John drummed and Mary Laveau danced and proceeded over the sometimes legal dances of the enslaved people of the city. It is now the site of drum groups and numerous black cultural events. As the water road of the Loa winds its way through New Orleans, it flows close to the surface in Congo Square. The third of these nations is Rada, which in terms of this tarot corresponds to air. The Rada rites are characterized by a formal, subtle quality. They claim origin from the rites performed in the well-established traditional kingdom of Dahomey in its highly developed religious structures. The Rada is attributed to air, and that Western occultism postulates a connection between air and the intellect. The intellect is seen as airy in its flights of imagination and its quick rush of thoughts, one tumbling over the other. Within the context of the Rada rites, the intellect is not the child of illusion, but a liberating force, a force useful in the forging of connections, a force that can be used to clothe spirit in a cloak of many colors. Okay, so here we go then. Santeria is a sister religion to Voodoo. In deference to its power and influence in the New World, it is used in this tarot as the nation that resonates well with the element earth. Solidity, strength, and the ability to take hold of the conditions at hand and grow these attributes of the element earth. Santeria, with its tremendous growth and following in the New World, has definitely managed to successfully bring its high spiritual teachings in the sphere of the element earth. Santeria and the spirits and practices that have come to be called voodoo find their initial theology in different African peoples. Santeria derives a good deal of its heritage from the religious practices of the Yoruba people in Nigeria. Voodoo looks into the Fon-speaking people of the once great Dahomey as a major source, with contributions from the Igbo, Congo, Nagos, and other African peoples. The families of spirits of these African peoples, though related, are different. As Corlander writes, Africa was a continent of many cultures and nations, and its belief systems varied. Even neighboring peoples such as the Igbos, the Yorubas, and the Mahis did not have common religious traditions. Okay. Firmly connected to a widely recognized hierarchy. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much it. I'm pretty sure it explains more about why Santeria is associated with that. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, while this is a voodoo tarot and the rituals and processes are voodoo in nature, it would be disrespectful not to include the names and some information concerning the great orishas, spirits of Santeria, in the cards and text. Okay, yeah, and then it gives you plenty of tables here, and I am like nearing the the end of this video, so I'm going to have to quickly flip through the last few cards. Hopefully we can get this done. No, I'm gonna have to so yeah, I'm gonna have to awkwardly cut here, because guess what, my videos that can't last longer than 20 minutes for some reason. So I'm gonna cut real quick and I'll be back real quick. It won't feel like anything, but for me it's awkward. All right, whew. Okay, did not want to waste, you know, because my camera, my phone, doesn't let me hold videos longer than 2 gigabytes, and that's roughly 20 minutes in this setup, so, you know, yeah. Sorry for the awkward cuts, but, you know, hopefully it transitions well. Oh my gosh. So here we have the Ace of Wands, essentially, the Ace of Petro, Dambala la Flambeau. So this is one of the cards why I really like, kind of wanted it, the Snake Fire. Oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah, cannot pronounce that, but look at that. I do like, that's interesting. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's all I can say about this deck. Yeah. The ship for the 4? That's different. What was the 4 of Wands in Thoth? Huh. Anyways, Ogun la Flamme. This guy creeped me out for the 6 of Wands. Ooh, look at her. Yeah, look at that. That looks like that reminds me of Strength in the Thoth, the woman riding like a beast of some sorts. But here it's a serpent. Let's see. The 9 of Fire. The 10 of Fire. Yeah, he's smoking. You can see people coming in the smoke. And then we have the court cards, which we have, which are kind of, okay, so the court cards are separated into drummers. I think these are supposed to be the queens, I believe. And then we have the, I think the drummers are the knights. This is the queens. This is the princes, and this is the princess, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, and like you can see some similarities between across the different suits in these two, where here we have the crossroads, which has like a lot of spiritual significance in this tradition, and then we have the drummers here, which I believe also are very important to the rituals and the rites for voodoo. I believe. Like I said, I'm no expert. I barely know anything about this. So yeah, but again, very interesting, these switches. I do like that. That's what I like about that, you know, about this deck though. They don't like just follow the structure of it and just put designs of the, they actually show like they fully translate the cards into its cultural connections, you know. It's not like the king and the queen on their thrones with some voodoo symbols decorating them. No, they're different. It's different. It's something new, you know. So that's what I like to see, you know. I like to see variety. So yeah, let's see the next suit. So here we have, I'm gonna bring these up closer so you guys have a better look at them. Here we have Congo, the Ace of Congo. Gran Ibo. What is she looking at? What is she doing? Oh, I think is she drinking something, or is she? I almost thought she's like looking into she's listening to a seashell or something, but no, I don't know. What is that, huh? Man Brigitte. All her candles. This reminds me of the 4 of Cups, the tree and how they're sitting. Ooh, okay. La baleine. Could it be like La Ballena, you know, the whale? Interesting. No, probably not. Ogun. 5. The medicine man, perhaps? No, not a medicine man. But a doctor of some sorts for the 5 of Cups. Interesting. This is beautiful here. The 6 of Cups here. Oh, another beautiful card with the Little Mermaid. La Sirene. Yeah, the siren or the mermaid. Look at the whale. Ooh. The sea serpent. Oh, creepy. The 8 of Cups. Here I have the 9. Madame La Lune. I'm pretty sure if I was looking at these by Sephiroth, so we would look at all the aces together and then all the all the twos together. I'm pretty sure we'd find a lot of more similarities. The Grand Bois. This is beautiful. It looks like it's raining. And then here we have the quartz. Again, we have the drummer here. I like how like the water seems to be coming out of the hands and from the drum. Here, let me just. I'm doing this awkwardly. There we go. Here's the Queen of Cups. I always like the design of the Queen of Cups. Here we have that traditional shape and pattern here of her kneeling down or looking down into a pool of water, you know? And she kind of has that more roundish kind of shape to her. Yeah, I like this Queen of Cups. And then we have the crossroads again. Again, water's coming out of his hands. Yeah, hold on. I think we're gonna... no. Well, maybe I will read out from the book for the different courts, because, you know, I think it was I thought it was very interesting, so... Here, real quick. I wasn't gonna read into it because I thought, okay, you already read enough from the book, but it's like, no, it is kind of interesting because it does explain it well, and the book does a better job of explaining it than I am, just from my ignorant standpoint. So let's see, 16 court cards. Okay, here we go. The 16. Here they're called the temple cards. Let's see. Okay, the titles of these cards draw heavily upon the idealized organization of Haitian Honfor, or temple. Honfor, I believe, yeah. One of the strengths of Voodoo is its diversity of ritual and organization. The positions and the duties given for these cards are composite in nature, distilled from verbal, written, and experiential sources, yeah. They communicate the religious ambience of an operating temple. However, no one temple may or should be expected to contain all of these positions or roles. The European court cards, with their king, knight, no. I'm sorry. For me, it's like the kings and the princes are connected, and the knights are the knights, and then the queens are the queens and the princesses and the pages. But knights are at a level above the princes and the kings. I'll have to explain it in a court card video. The queen, prince, and princess reflect a social structure or way of viewing the world that in Europe has been primarily secular for at least the last 200 years. The figures on the temple cards of this deck move through an atmosphere more rarefied, more subtle than that occupied by the imperial figures of the court cards. Theirs is the world of religious expression rather than temporal power. That, yes. Let's see. Make use of a sacred framework to embody those processes represented by the European court cards. Okay. Okay, here we go. Hold on. I'm trying to find it. Here we go. Okay. The physical and psychological characteristics ascribed to each temple card are drawn from Robert Wang's description in the Kabbalistic Tarot. So again, you can kind of see that how the Queen of Cups looks very similar to the Thoth Queen of Cups. But yeah, actually these need to be switched because that's how they go. So yeah, let me see. Okay, here we go. Ogan, drum, which is king, wand, right? Yeah, because each court is like related to each one of the sigils, one of the symbols and the elements. So the kings are fire. Well, I view the knights as fire, so it would be knights, kind of. I don't know. My personal views and the views that they're basing this off of is a little bit are conflicting, and it's kind of confusing. But yeah, Spirit Chief as a title, it is not widely used in New Orleans. I'm talking about the Ogan drum in the King of Wands. The king is a Dohamian, word meaning spirit chief, yeah. The title Doctor has a much wider use. The use of Doctor rather than Ogan pays respect to the long-established New Orleans root doctor tradition, New Orleans root doctor tradition. Dr. John is an excellent example of a strong Ogan. Within the temple's elemental dance, these doctors are or ogans, oh my gosh, the pronunciations, I know I'm butchering them, take the part of fire. As with the water of the mambo, fire both creates and destroys. The presence of water is much more persistent than that of fire. The same body of water can exert force on its surroundings for days, but not so with fire. But not so with fire. My gosh, fire comes, does its work, and then it's gone. The drums of the ogan reflect the short-lived effects of fire. Drums can play for days, but they must be struck over and over in order to produce their sustained effect. A fire may last for days, but its fuel must be constantly replenished. Water placed in its ritual basin or bowl persists much longer with no care. Okay, interesting. Okay, so yeah, the instrument associated with the ogan in this deck is the drum. This is done to honor the first Dr. John, to pay respects to the drum as a powerful religious instrument, and to mirror the ogan's fiery elemental attributions. In Haiti, the ogan seldom plays the drum. In New Orleans, it is much more common for the ogan or doctor to be a drummer. It is said that the ears of the serpent were the first covering of the drum. Oh, this points to the connection between the drum and the root creative process of dambala and aida wedo. Don't know what that is. The rhythms the ritual drums create are not so much heard as felt with the whole body. Snakes have no ears, but they respond to the rhythmic vibrations created by drumming. The drum is a sacred instrument. It combines elements of the plant and animal kingdom in that it is constructed from the skin of an animal and the flesh of a tree. The drum is the head, a body, and a mouth. The head of the drum is washed and consecrated much as is the head of a voodooist. The drum is ritually fed through its mouth. Objects can be hung on the body of a drum and held focus. Objects can be hung on the body of a drum to help focus its calling of the loa. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. And then mambo, which means serpent, and is the queen and our water. So here we have fire, water, I believe air, and then this is earth. So this is fire of water, water of water, air of water, and earth of water in this specific suit. And then it would be as such with the fire one. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, and so it does explain the switches between the courts and why they're different here. So yeah, and each one does have their own like symbols and sigils. So yeah, again, the book has so much more to it. Yeah, I do want to read that about the crossroads, though. I think that's so interesting about that, because I did hear, you do hear that about the crossroads, and I know like some people believe that you meet death at a crossroads. Anyway, or the devil. Anyways, la place, yeah, crossroads and machete, prince and sword. So it would make sense with the machete, a sword for air, I assume. With bright blade lifted in salute to the temple and the spirits, it contains the Laplace, yeah, dances with the machete to guide the movements of the banners. These banners are the symbol and sacrament of the temple's solidarity around the temple and its environs, environs. The Laplace, yeah, carries his machete, and the onces bear the banners oh my gosh, and the onces bear the banners in a rhythmic procession, approaching objects and persons of special grace in praise and respect. The Laplace, oh my gosh, that word, I feel like the Laplace, I think it should be Laplace because la is kind of like the in Spanish, and kind of like in French and Italian too. Anyways, is a master of ceremonies whose duties include the overseeing of a myriad ritual accoutrements and details. The Laplace is the understudy of the ongan, yeah, which is the drummers, I believe here, and may be preparing to lead the temple's congregation. A woman in approximately the same position of the Laplace is known as the Mambocaye, or the mistress of the house. Within the within the sacred elemental dance of the temple, the Laplace holds the position of the element of air. The machete or sword is the instrument associated with the intellect in Western occultism. Its flashes are reminiscent of the intellect's mental flashes. In Voodoo, its ritual is that of the Ogun, the blacksmith, with all the rich connections between the forge and magic. In the context of this tarot, the Laplace is also associated with the crossroads, which signifies the connection between the visible and the invisible worlds. One of the functions of the machete is to clear the way for the spirits, and it is as if the machete clears the road to the door that Papa Legba opens. This door can be symbolized by the crossroads. The four cards all contain representations of the Laplace or Oriate, wielding his machete over the crossroads. So yeah. I thought that was very interesting. I'm sure the queen and the princess has plenty of good information in there. Oh my gosh, and look at that, already near the 20-minute mark for this one. So yeah, I just wanted to read that to kind of like explain like the differences between the courts and all that. So let's just quickly get through the rest of this, because there's so many switches and so many changes in this deck, and it's something I don't quite understand. And so to read that book and get a better view of this, and through the lens of tarot, it kind of helps. It might help, some. It's kind of helping me understand, this culture and this and voodoo in general, just to have an understanding of it, Look at that. What is going on here? Ooh. Moving on. Yeah, look at this guy too. Legba here. He's like, go away. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Here we have Erzuli Frida Dahome. Who is she? Interesting. This is an interesting card for the 7 of air. Here we have the 8 of air, or swords. Masa. There's always these ships everywhere. Then we have the 10 of air. We have the rainbow, which is much more for cups. Then we have the Ongan of air. And we have, oh, look at that, traditional Queen of Swords imagery of the decapitated head. But this is an actual, like, ritual of like, symbolic decapitation. And it's kind of explained it in the book as well. And we have, again, the princess. Then we're going into Santeria. It's kind of interesting. The 2... wasn't of earth? The 3? Yeah, this is a very interesting one. Ooh, very strange. With the snails climbing up. Okay, again, and one little criticism I will have of this is the random modern interjections of the tarot, which, I mean, like, yeah, there are those modern tarots, but it's like, keep it consistent, like, oh, that's creepy. That is creepy right there. That is from a horror movie, I'm sure. Ooh, look at her. Hey, she has an axe. Yamaya. Oh, I think I like this card. This is beautiful. Kind of reminds me of where is it? The 2 of coins, actually. Where are you? It should be this one here. Yeah. I'm sure you can make a connection between that. Huh. Anyways. Yeah, that's beautiful, though. And we have the 10. Huh. The arrow. That's interesting. Here he's not beating on the drum. That again, huh? Santera. Wow. Oh, and here you have again the sword with and the crosswords are kind of here. They're a little tricky to see sometimes. Yeah. And here she has the bow and arrow. Is she the one that launched that arrow in the 10? Probably, because the princesses are related to Malkuth, and that is, you know, associated with the 10s. But anyways, let's see how this shuffles. Oh, right, and there was an extra card. I'm sure I mentioned the wild card. Yeah. Yeah, I just said it, but I didn't really, like, mention it. Yeah. Oh, should have been for judgment, from what I read from that book. But yeah, let's see how it shuffles, though. I believe it shuffles best, yeah, like this. But I'm sure it overhand shuffles pretty well, too. Well, I mean, almost any deck. Well, most decks overhand shuffle pretty good, you know. I wonder how you would, like, properly shuffle this. I wonder if Voodoo has, like, a proper cartomancy system. I doubt it. We would have heard of it. You know? But yeah, let's see. Yeah, so usually some decks will shuffle better upside down with the images facing up like this rather than like this. But this one, you know, shuffles kind of the same as both. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, really good card stock. The artwork is amazing. Again, there are those few cards that are like, you know, awkwardly modern, as I would say. It's like, what are you doing here? You're not fitting with the aesthetic. You know, but other than that, this is, they honestly did their research, and I guess they kind of intended this. Well, I hope they didn't intend this to be as such where anyone, even if you don't practice Voodoo, you can get this deck and use it. But I don't feel comfortable with that. You know, it's like, if it's not your religious practice, why are you gonna, you know, you wouldn't really connect with it. You know, I'm not connecting with it because it's not my practice. It's not the path that I follow. And so I'm most likely gonna move this one on. I thought I would enjoy it, and I do enjoy it, and I do like the book. But yeah, it's purely in the focus of Voodoo, so it's gonna have to move on to someone that will appreciate this deck and use it as much as I did. Because when I got it, there was like some cards that I just got like that gut feeling of like, no. It's like, this isn't for you, and I'm like, oh, okay. And which I've never had before, so it's a first. But yeah, this one's definitely going to be going into the trade or sell list, which I do have a stack already for decks, and yeah, a lot of decks that I'm looking to trade. So yeah, which I'm going to upload a video right after this one. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me what you guys think about this, and what you guys think of Voodoo and Santeria in general. So yeah, I feel like one little comment on that, on Santeria, is I feel like this deck is much more spiritually inspired or inclined compared to a few of those other decks that kind of like, that have come out and are coming out recently. I'm talking about the Santa Muerte Tarot, because that deck, I feel like it's kind of like just using the aesthetic of it rather than the actual spiritual, you know, doing some research in it. Which, again, the system, from what I've seen of the walkthrough of the Santa Muerte Tarot, looks very interesting, but again, it's just using it as an aesthetic, which I'm not a big fan of. Again, that's for a whole nother video, but again, moving this one on. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. If you guys would like to support my channel and the project that I'm working on, I have a Ko-fi. There should be a link in my About section on my channel. I should find a way to link that down in the description down below, like automatically when I upload, but I'll have to figure that out another time. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!